Alright. Hello, hello. Yeah, this is day 37 of studying compilers every day until I land a compiler role. Yeah. First day of class, somehow I managed to not skip a single class, so that's good progress from me. But yeah. All of that aside, even though I'm quite tired, I got some streaming to do, and I got some code to write. Yeah, hopefully stream today is just like finishing up the stuff I didn't get to finish yesterday. Yeah, it should be a good time. Hopefully it's not too long of a stream. Yeah, we'll see how timing goes overall. Yeah, welcome to the stream, Skittles. Good to see you're here smack dab on time. Okay, leetcode. Employment, leetcode. Food rating system. I know someone that's really gonna enjoy the leetcode. Okay, have to do a little bit of communication. Yeah, a certain someone has written a dining hall interfacing service for our school. A certain Aiden who also streams. Okay. I can modify the rating of a food item and return the highest rated food item for a type of cuisine. Okay. Okay, sounds good. So then wants me a macros tracking system for a dining hall. Yeah, that's kind of how it is sometimes. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that the API was a little bit miserable to work with. What is this? Okay, so okay, this is foods. This is cuisines. This is some system. Yeah, I feel like, let's see, what would be a good way to do this? Maybe we can store it as a map to priority queue, I guess. Yeah, that might work. More like lack of API, yeah. That is kind of the other common scenario, I fear. Just okay. Okay, so okay, how do we do this? What private fields do we want it to have? It might be nice to actually store things in a hash map and then just like store the IDs in or just like store the foods in the priority queue. Yeah, okay, let's do it that way. So we want vector of priority queue. And then yeah, this might be the most sane way to do this, I think. This should actually be, yeah, vector actually makes sense, because we have a fixed set of cuisines, I believe. So this is a priority queue of What is this? Okay, let's just look at the topics real quick. Oh god, okay, well, priority queue, okay. Couldn't use heaps? Yes, but C++'s implementation is a priority queue, so. Or C++'s implementation of a priority queue is a max heap, I believe. Yeah. So we need to separate it by cuisines, I think, which is the annoying thing. We can do a hash map to get like an index. What's good, Frothy? I see my camera is being annoying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It does that sometimes. Let's just use a map for now. Map of string to priority queue. And this priority queue is of this sucks. This really sucks. There's like so much just unnecessary complexity, at least that I'm thinking of here. Oh, there's also like an ordering thing here. That matters. So we want... Okay, so how do we want to map cuisines? From string to... map string to int, I guess? And then we can have a straight vector of priority queue, and this will take, I guess, int. Yeah, and then we can map it directly to food and ratings indices, I think. Q custom comparator. Yeah, we need to fuck with the comparator a little bit. We can do this with a lambda. Looked at the repo, learning about how Pectool works. Yeah, it's pretty much a parser generator using PEG, which is short for, I think, parser expression grammar, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if it's, I think it's recursive descent, but it could also be a bottom-up parser generator. Yeah, if you wanted to look into that a little bit more, feel free to do so and then report back to me on that, because I've heard different things about it, actually. So, yeah. Okay, so a vector of priority cube int. What else does this take? This takes the vector of int, and then what else do we want here? We also want to have a auto compare equal, so this is the lambda. This would take int A, int B. And then we also want a duckle type of compare. So this is ratings. Sorry to hear you haven't landed your dream job yet. Yeah, that's how it be. School doesn't stop though, so still having a good time. Okay, so we want 2 maps. So we want we can make these, yeah, we can do this, and then cuisines. Oh wait, no, wait, huh? Oh wait, these are like literally mapped to each other. I see, that's how this is stored. Class got cancelled? Yeah. Will you stop streaming until you, once you get the job? Probably not. I'll probably just like change the format. OpenAI came out. Good comms. I'll submit it. I'll submit an app, I guess. Okay, so these appear to be linked to each other. It looks like, which is kind of irritating. We can just store these 3, I think, which is kind of annoying. And then we can like, I feel like I'm way overcooking this somehow. This should not be ratings. Yeah, okay. So I think that's a good start. So we want to compare return. So A less than B. Or A equals B and oh wait, I'm trolling. So we don't need to store cuisines actually. Just need the foods and ratings. So we want ratings is less than ratings B. Or they're equal, and then we just compare the names, I guess. So maybe I just do a so if they're equal, then, or let's just do not equals. No, let's do equals. If they're equal, we want foods. We just want to string compare. I think you can just use operators to compare strings in C++. I just tried to use format on this. I'm cooked. Okay. This seems coherent, at least. I might have gotten the direction wrong, but we'll figure that out as we go. So this, we want to set foods to foods, cuisines to cuisines, and then, wait, no, we don't have cuisines, silly. Ratings. Ratings. Okay. So the rest of these should be default initialized for now. So then we want to iterate across each food, I guess. Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, or I don't care about performance anymore. Let's just use an unordered map. Let's make this easier. So this takes string. I know I should avoid the string comparison, but it is what it is. So top rating at zines at I. What's good, Ibrahim and Yarosh? Okay, how do I do things with a priority queue again? It's been so long. Push. So I'm gonna push I guess. I'll have to see the nerd speak. I struggle to imagine a world where someone watching a stream about someone studying compilers is not a nerd. Okay, change rating. Oh, this search is by food? Are you kidding me? This is so annoying. All right, let's make a frickin' map. So this should be string to int ratings. Just make the name different so I don't have to worry about anything here. Yeah, let's leave it as. Let's do that, and then we have to change this actually. So there's actually no initializer list there. And then so food ratings at foods at I equals ratings at I. And then that means we need to change the comparator as well. Yeah, there's so many string comparisons, but whatever. Food ratings. All right, we should just like auto first equal. We can just do big A here. Let me look up the git pair for this. At. Does this get the... What type does this get? Find? Yeah, we want find. So if a.second equals b.second, then we want to compare firsts. Otherwise, a.second less than b.second. Yeah, this looks reasonable at a glance. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, okay. So then this makes the rest of these operations easier as well. So then food ratings at food equals new rating. And then I think we need to resort even, right? Yeah, because, yeah, that changes things. Right? Oh, this is really annoying, actually. I really hate this. This is so sloppy. Let me just make sure this compiles at least. Oh, come on. I feel like I'm like hitting a brick wall here. This should not be as difficult as it is. I don't think I need to use a template here. That seems a little overkill. I think I just need to like give it the literal type. Did function. I need this. Oh Christ, okay. So this should be like const bool. How do I do this? Function. This is const bool reference. I think this is how you do it. Ah, shit bar. Comparator lambda type. Can't use auto. Okay, let's just steal that real quick. Let's do that. Wait, no. I have to paste it. There we go. Surely this is correct. What? Oh. There's another one. Alright, we're slowly working through this problem. Undeclared identifier food ratings? Are we... Oh, come on. Does this go out here? Or, yeah, it's a declaration order issue. Right? No? Oh, I can't... Whoops. Alright, let's keep fixing these errors as we take them. I need to forward declare something. Did you take the quiz for tiramisu yet? I have not. Okay, we need to forward declare food ratings, I think. Right? Is this sequencing right? Yeah, this seems correct. Albeit a little ugly. Are you serious? this. What? What? So confused. Oh, that's not the website I want. This is the one I want. So find exists, right? Surely, yeah, find exists. So we find by key. A is not the key. Okay, this takes what? No, this takes string now, actually. I think. Yeah, because we don't need this to be int anymore, right? We're just gonna nuke the hell out of we're just gonna nuke the hell out of the memory complexity or the overhead. Okay. Is this right? At foods, yeah, this seems correct. Oh, I hit enter. Oh no. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, my stats have gone down now. Man. Yeah, this is why you don't do leetcode while you're tired after all your classes and after the whole day. Oh, I forgot one more. Alright. Let's see if all of this works. Okay, I'm like super washed. Do you have classes all day? I only have 2 classes, and they end at like 2 p.m., but the rest of the day has just been like random bookkeeping, and that's been kind of annoying. Real quick, we can return this, implement this real quick. Zoom.top? Is that what it is? Top, yeah. Alright. Let's see if this works. Push? Monday, Wednesday done at 2, Tuesday, Thursday until 5, unlucky. What do you mean this doesn't have push? Oh, duh. Yeah, we're just storing straight strings now, I guess. Are you kidding me? Oh, top rating. God. Yeah, we're washed. The screen until 5 p.m. is not fun? Yeah, that sounds rough. Bad function call. Boss? I've never seen that before. Oh, wait, I know what's going wrong. Wait, no, I don't know what's going wrong. I might have actually layered on the complexity so much that I have no idea what is happening here. What's the hardest problem you've seen on here? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, to be honest. Where is this going wrong? I don't know what's going wrong here. Oh, do I need to construct the thing? I think it's happening. Pre-2007 rice gum hair? Unlucky. I've heard a Ludwig comparison at one point, which was kind of funny. Like his red hair. Okay, I need to look at this reference. Which constructor do I need? Let's push, I want this constructor, I think. Okay. New plan. Let's comment this out. I can't comment. Okay. New internal data structure. Let's just simplify this. This is just string. And then we can declare it ourselves here. This is so messy. Unordered map constructor. That website's a flashbang. Jesus, this is terrible. With value constructor. This is so awful. This is actually terrible. There's so much complexity occurring. There has to be a way for me to construct this better. Can I just make it take... Actually, wait, I have an idea now. Let's do that. No, that's... Actually, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, it's been half an hour. I spent way too long on this. Okay, so that skips all the string stuff, so let's just look at this. Jesus Christ. Okay, so we make a food class. Okay, man. Okay. Yeah, okay, alright. Yeah. Oh, wait, interesting. Wait. Is this better complexity? N plus m log n? Yeah, this should be better. So you create 3 maps: food to rating, food to cuisine, and then okay. This seems slower though, at a glance at least. Me. I'm quite hungry. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we could... alright. Wait, that comment seems wrong. This... Oh, I guess that makes sense, yeah. So m log n and n log n times, then... Okay, I guess that makes sense. Alright, let's try it this way. So let's reset all of this. So we create 3 hash maps. So we want an unordered map from... Does it do here? Oh, we're just straight using string. Okay, sure. So string to int, food to rating, and then we want string to string. This one is food to cuisine. Right? Yeah, okay. And then what is happening here? So cuisine to a set. All the best, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna see what they did here. This data structure is so ugly. Map from string to a set of pair of int and string. Jesus Christ. Jeez, I hate this. This is terrible. This is truly, truly terrible. Okay, so let's do that, and then so you can iterate through this. So we can food to rating at foods at I equals ratings at I. So then we want food to cuisine at foods at I equals cuisines at I. That's not an I. And then what else does this do? Oh, Jesus Christ. So we map -1 to rating. But why? Can't we just... Is there not a reason we can't just get away with accessing back? Or... Yeah, we can just do end. We don't need to do this negative shenanigans. So we want cuisine to top food at cuisine I. Oh, I see. So the reason we can't edit in place, are these const elements? Okay, it shouldn't be const. So this should be fine then, right? What compiler resource are you following? I'm pretty much just going off my own. I've been referencing some Google queries, a little bit of the SSA compiler book, and then asking ChatGPT for design assistance where I struggle. I've also been like looking at the LLVM codebase a little bit. Okay, so what do we insert here? We want a pair of does this need a comparator? No, it doesn't need a comparator. That's neat. So we want ratings at I to foods at I. I think this is so ugly. I hate this already. I think this one line alone here quite clearly illustrates why I'm not enjoying this problem. Yeah, the rest of this should be pretty trivial then. So let's give this a try without staring at the code. Does this one mean we have to resort that? Yeah, we have to resort it. Okay. Yeah, okay, well, that's fine. This is not compilers? Yeah, I promise I will get there soon. But part of the point of the series is that I need to find employment. And what does that mean? That means plenty of leetcode. Yeah, just give me like 10 minutes. I promise, I assure you I will get there. Okay. Let me just lock it in for a second. To cuisine at food. I'm joking, that's valid. You say that, but like a lot of people do show up and they're like, "Oh, this is not compilers," and I'm like, yeah, unlucky. That's how it is sometimes. Okay, so we want to change the rating, and then we want to change. Yeah, we want to change the rating in the food to rating, and then we want to change it in cuisine to top food. So food to rating at food. It's a meme? Yeah, fair enough. So this one, is that what I call it? Yeah. So this at cuisine. Cuisine does not look like a real word anymore after having written it this many times. So we want to change first. Do you know anything about AIs and or ML? I have like I've taken our school's machine learning class, so I have like some idea, at least in terms of like what things are. But if you ask me to like do something, or like if you ask me to like make a model, I would struggle to do that without like consulting external resources. So this should be new rating. Okay, this should be fine. Yeah, okay. Highest rated. Trying to make a dynamic classifier. That term elides me. I'm gonna be real with you. Sorry. So we want it back. This type of question is API design? Yeah. It's also kind of just like, how can you manage the different maps? Like, this feels like a final project that you would find in a data structures course, I think. Oh, wait, no, back dot second. Or arrow second, actually, right? Because back is an iterator. Oh, Jesus Christ. That should be everything, right? Cuisine to top food at cuisine. At food dot first. Yeah. Are you in university? Yeah, I go to school currently. My first day of classes was today, actually. Oh, come on! Are you... okay. 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 Let me find unordered set real quick. Yeah. Mind throwing me a link to this? This is just the daily LeetCode problem. You should be able to find it pretty quickly on LeetCode. Where is this? Find? Yeah, find. So find food dot first. This problem is giving me a headache, I swear. What is find? Oh. No, because this is sorted by... Okay, so we do have to pop it. Right? Oh wait, this is where we use food to rating. Food to rating at... Jesus Christ. And then this is why this comes second, actually. Are you undergrad? Yes. I chose compilers because what the You have gotta be kidding me. Okay, how did this do this? But yeah, I took our compilers course and I thought it was really cool. And then I've just been attempting to do compilers research since. I say attempting because I am like technically actively doing it, but I've always felt like a little bit of an imposter and I haven't really built up a lot of the knowledge necessary yet. So I think part of streaming is to alleviate that a little bit. Perspective on current SWE market, it's tough, but I think it's like, it's just it's shifting from the sort of like easy COVID hiring market to a market that's similar to what business is like right now. Business or consulting, where like the top performers will always do well, but the people who aren't on top of things will have a really hard time. Jesus, this is terrible. So find, oh god, we have to make the pair? What the fuck? Okay, so we have that, and then we want food. So surely this works. Okay, this needs an arrow. You're submitting too frequently. I always thought working on compiler side would be really fun, but also hurt your head every day. Oh, it's a const? God damn it. So we need to... Okay, I understand why I used erase now. So we find, and then... erase here. Jesus, this problem is miserable. So we want new rating, and then we want food. Yeah, it's a lot of complexity to manage, but you kind of get used to it after a while, I think. What? No. Are you serious? Oh, right, because this is not an unordered set. It's just, wait, but that, wait, what? Okay, wait. I'm like tweaking. 1 second. End, not end. Begin, end. No, I just don't know this interface well enough. I thought it would have a, I thought this would have a back, sort of like vector would. Okay, I understand why this is a negative number now. So we can do that, and then do that. We can insert negative, and then we can do negative. So this is begin. Okay, this should be good. This is our set specifically. I have not used a straight ordered set in so long. Yeah, okay, well, alright, we got the problem done. Thank fuck. Okay, so that's LeetCode done. Yeah, like genuinely, when was the last time any of y'all used an ordered map or an ordered set in C++? Yeah. My school doesn't have a compilers course. It's just very far into building an interpreter using crafting interpreters. Ooh. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't actually done crafting interpreters, but I've heard very good things about it. I think a lot of compiler and interpreter work spends a really long time on parsing, which is really cool, but also, to my knowledge, not a lot has changed in like 10 years. So I personally haven't really cared too much. That's why my project has been using a parser generator, but so it goes. Yeah, I feel like it's always, for most instances where you need like an ordered set, I feel like a priority queue makes more sense, but it matters here because we're not like directly inserting the elements that we're sorting on. It's like a weird case where we need to like store things in a semi-ordered fashion that we can access, but we also need to be able to access one end of it. So this is like one of the rare instances where like a straight ordered arbitrary set implementation actually makes sense. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so the actual thing I want to work on today is, I forgot to insert continuing. Yeah. We should finish this, yeah. So last time, I started rewriting the compiler front end with smart pointers, but I ended up running out of time. There's like one or two files I need to finish rewriting. I went a little bit insane from writing std move like 200 times, but I guess I get to write it another 200 times. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Yeah. So, trying to think if I should walk through the current state of things, because I think there's a lot of y'all that haven't really been acclimated to this project yet. Do y'all want me to walk through, I guess, like the top level theory of the compiler design and like the sort of structure we're currently at? Got a GitHub? Yes, it's in the description. The project is named PANNICC, as spelled up here. Yeah, okay. Yes, it's a public repo. Yeah, I guess it doesn't hurt to do a quick recap. Okay, so where do I begin? We have we have 3 stages of the compiler. We have the front end, we have the middle end, or the optimizer, and then we have the back end. If anyone's interested in the explanation, let me know. It's been a while since I've like given that whole spiel, so I wouldn't mind sharing that again. So I guess it's easiest to explain starting with the middle end. I've created this intermediate representation, or abbreviated as IR, and I've named it MIR for like middle IR, very creatively named. And then this has an optimizer, which has like passes and stuff. Yeah. It's roughly like this. And then the front end takes C code, and then it turns it into MIR. And then the back end, which I have yet to implement, this takes MIR and it turns it into x86-64. Hopefully. Eventually. Definitely eventually. And then we have like a couple of other intermediate representations along the way here. So we have an AST, as everyone has, and then I have a desugared AST here called HIR, which is once again very creatively named. So to go from C to the AST, we parse it. And I used the parser generator for the parser because I don't want to write that by hand. And then to go between these two, a couple of things happen. So there's descoping, and then we have just like general desugaring. So like just turning high-level compound parsed expressions into more simple ones. And that simplifies the code gen a little bit into MIR. So that's like roughly where we're at. We have this infrastructure up. Currently, the thing I'm working on is this whole pile is written with just raw pointers, which if you've worked within C++, they are a nightmare to keep track of. And when I was writing the MIR implementation, I ran into a bunch of issues with raw pointers, and at that point I kind of just gave up and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna write this with unique pointers and smart pointers. So I did that and it was pretty quick. And now I want to do the same for the front end because I want to add control flow like if statements and loops. And it would be a little bit irresponsible for me to do that before rewriting that. So yeah, I'm doing that rewrite right now, and then hopefully next time I get to actually do the fun extending of the front end. So yeah, that's the short version of the spiel. I have a larger version more in depth with all of the things I want to include in my Discord, which you should join, by the way. Quick plug, it's in the description. It's this diagram. Feel free to look at it closer. This is the list of stuff I want to do. You should join my Discord because you can get pinged when I go live, and you can also chat with other people in the community. Everyone is really chill, and you also get to chat with me outside of stream hours. So yeah, quick plug over. Yeah, I'm a 4th year. I'm currently going for compiler internships actually, because I'm also starting my MS concurrently. So that will give me an extra summer to find employment for. So yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. It's also gonna be a tough time because I have to write a thesis, but yeah. Northwestern has a combined dual degree BSMS program, so yeah, that is what I am doing. In the back end, you're gonna have to convert R to assembly from scratch. Yes. There's like a lot of steps that go into that. The short version is like, first we do instruction selection, and then the next step would be like register allocation, And then from here, we just have like a memory representation of this, so then we can just like do the literal code gen. Yeah, so that's like roughly the whole chain. Yeah, so that's the whole diagram mess. That's all the context for everything. Driver, this contains like the literal compiler program. All this stuff is separated into front end and middle end. Back end will exist eventually. There are some tests. I don't have unit tests yet, but I do have some regression tests. This has some sample inputs. So like, we have like this mem to reg test here. And then if we look here, this is the AST version of that program. I'm going through this a little bit quickly because all of this code is on my GitHub. Feel free to like take a closer look. Yeah, we have the AST parse version here. Then that gets lowered to HR, which is, it doesn't have scopes as you can see, and some instructions are like split up a little bit. So like, instead of having like this, we have 2 instructions for that. That just simplifies things. And then that gets turned into MIR, which looks a lot like LLVM IR. There's a couple of small differences here and there. And then we run a pass on it, and then it looks way prettier. Yeah. What is a compiler? It is a program that translates programs from one language to another program, or another language. So I'm working on a compiler that translates code from C to x86-64. Yeah, that is the short version. I mean, yeah, a lot of people are very LLM-like, so that's fair. Okay. So the things we need to rewrite. So last time we rewrote this whole slush to use unique pointers. Unique, yeah. So we have unique pointers here. We also did the same in HR. I'm not gonna show that. We fixed AST to HR. We fixed the parser. Actually, all we need to do pretty much is just HR to MIR, but there's a bit of slush here. So yeah, this needs to be a reference. This is just like some small conversion stuff. You have to master manage pointers to do all things. Previously, yes, but if I'm using smart pointers, I don't have to do that anymore, because that is managed by the abstraction, rather. If you're not familiar with smart pointers, let me know and I can give like a quick explanation. What's wrong here? Deleted constructor. This needs to be... Does that work? Oh yeah, that works. Okay. Why is there no toString here? What type is this? It's an identifier. Right, let me figure out why this is borked real quick, and then I'll give an explanation. Do I just need to like .git? Oh, I see what's going wrong here. Wait, this should... Why is there a problem with this? Oh, wait, did I not fix that constructor? Or that getter, rather? It should be at the function level, so it should be here. That's a reference. This should be fine. Right? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now that works. what's your LSP? It's clangd. It just straight up is clangd. I use compile command. I use CMake with compile commands to generate the bindings. I think bindings is the word. I could be wrong. How long did you spend for learning NeoVim? It took roughly a summer to get used to, but to actually go fast, I think it took about a year. And I'm still trying to get better, which is why if you see at the bottom here, there's this annoying text every time I do something slow. There's a plugin that does that, which is really funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna give the smart pointers explanation here real quick. And this is something you could probably clip. Maybe I'll make a short out of this. So traditionally when you're working in C and C++, you just use raw pointers. And that's just the term used to distinguish them from unique pointers. So you're used to just working with pointers, and pointers are nice and all, but as with just the rest of the average C programming experience, you have to do a lot of manual memory management. So you have to call alloc or whatever or I guess new in C++, to allocate memory to the heap, and you have to call free or you have to use the delete keyword to deallocate that memory. And that gets really annoying, and there's like a couple of problems that arise with that sort of process. Yeah, so for instance, one of the problems you might have is if you have a bunch of objects in a vector and you have pointers to those objects, when the vector grows, that could potentially include a reallocation, because the internal array has reached its capacity, so then it just doubles capacity and then copies everything over. And that copy will result in the pointer being invalidated. And that's annoying because then you have to like keep track of that. You have to pre-allocate in the vector, and that's annoying. There's also other issues with like potential like double deletes. So like if you mess up your destructors, you might delete something twice, and that's bad for obvious reasons. I don't think I really need to explain that. Your program will segfault, and life is bad. So the C++ language designers, they were like, this sucks. This process is terrible. Let's just make an abstraction that handles all of that for you. So they came up with three things. The first one is unique pointer, which pretty much is an abstraction that says, I am allocating memory for this object here, and this is the only pointer that lives to that object. And that's nice because then once that pointer drops out of scope, we have a sort of theoretical guarantee that, assuming we didn't like do anything with the raw pointer that it wraps inside, since that is the only pointer, there can be no possible accesses to that memory anymore. So it is safe to deallocate that, and that memory is automatically deallocated. The second version of a smart pointer is a shared pointer, and that's similar to a unique pointer, but there is no guarantee of like a single access. So what it does is it keeps an internal counter of the number of pointers to it, and then when you access or when you create a pointer to it, that number goes up, and then when that number gets to 0, we can't get more accesses to it, so then it gets deallocated. And then that's nice because then we can kind of tie memory management to just the lifetime, or I guess like tie memory management to the unique pointer's lifetime, or the scope that it lives inside. Yeah, that's like the rough explanation. There's a third type which is called a weak pointer. I don't know a lot about it, just being fully transparent. You'd have to look up when to use that. There's something about like circular references. I don't understand that too much, but yeah, that's the rough explanation. Hopefully that made some degree of sense. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's keep working on this. What's wrong here? This needs to be auto reference? No. What's wrong here? Unique putter. Is this a move? No, this is not a move. Looks inside, C compiler, yep. That's how it be. Oh, I need to rewrite resolve atom, I just realized. Do I need to? This will live in here. How do coroutines work? I'm not very familiar with them. I should be more familiar, but unfortunately I'm not. Okay, resolve value creates a value type, I think, right? Okay. Yeah, we can just pass in the atom putter here, I think. Speaking I dot value. Oh, this needs to have a get on the end. There we go. Does this need a unique putter? No, this shouldn't be a unique putter. What am I doing? Yeah, this is fine, actually. Okay, that fixed that. If you want a good compiler job, I'd recommend studying more relevant compiler technology. I need to build up the foundation still, because I do not know a lot about the optimizer yet. And that is part of why I'm working on this. And also because I think it's fun, so that's how it goes. I also don't really know why a C compiler would not be relevant. And this is like a genuine question, not like me being arrogant or anything. JLSL to GPU instructions. I haven't worked much with JLSL up to this point. What does the compiler rule consist of? Somewhere where I can ideally work on compilers for a living. Okay, this should all be cleaned up, I think. Let's try building. Nothing is broken yet. This seems okay. Okay. It looks like all this work. Okay, it looks like all the tests run correctly, which is good. It says 13 tests because I skipped a bunch of them, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that seems like a correct number. Clang is kind of dead for C or C++ compilers. You're looking at ICC and Intel or IBM working on PPC backends. I guess the front end here is kind of just a means to an end. The main focus of this project is on the optimizer, so I think it's a little bit short-sighted to think about this as strictly just Clang. I think the work I want to work on is just like supporting, I guess, supporting new middle end passes in LLVM for various languages. Whether it be like Apple's Swift compiler or like NVIDIA's CUDA compiler, or even just like somewhere where I can work on like Rust, I guess. I also don't think Clang is dead. There's a lot of work that's happening right now, at least in terms of I guess upstreaming Clang IR. So there's a lot of new developments that are happening, to my knowledge at least. Yeah, I guess test pass. So Clang IR, yes. They're creating a new IR for Clang specifically. Are you going to LLVM dev? Hopefully. That's the plan. That page is ugly. Yeah. Yeah, this exists. Yeah, this would be neat to work on. I think it would be fun at least. Oh, does it link to the same website? Yeah. Where's the keynote? See you there? Sounds good to me. Yeah, this would be neat to work on in the future, maybe. MR changes. Okay. So this is all good. Have you completed the teachings of Terry A. Davis? I have not, unfortunately. Am I getting yelled at in Discord real quick? Okay, looks like I'm not. Huge. Yeah. So the funny thing is, I expected this to take way longer because, at least when I was working on like AST to HR, this took substantially longer. Because I wrote a couple too many abstractions in here, and it was a little bit unmaintainable. So that took like half an hour at least. Whereas HR to MR took like literally 10 minutes. So I don't have anything else planned for this stream in this instant at least, which is really funny. Let's get this branch merged real quick. Yeah, this is the repo in case anyone's interested. Yeah, let's do that. We need to give it a second to rerun the tests, I think. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I need to update the branch protection real quick. Actions? Or is it rules? It's not this. Status checks. It's not a thing? Okay. Where's the action runs? I don't know. I'll clean this up later, but yeah. Anyways, let's see how that's running. Linear history? Surely it's here, right? So, it might just be status checks. What is this anyway? I don't know. I'll figure this out later, but anyway. Okay. So surely this is done. Okay. Yippee. Rebase, we up. Okay. So the next thing on the to-do list, which I didn't include here because I thought I would run out of time, and then it turns out I didn't run out of time. It was So we want to add memory representations for if statements. Yeah, so the next big thing I want to add is control flow. We can even generalize this. What are you trying to do? I'm trying to write a compiler from C to x86, 64, and the main focus is on the optimizer because I know very little about it and I want to learn more about it. But the problem is my language, the amount of C I support right now is currently hideously tiny. So I need to extend the front end to, I guess, support more language features right now. And the big one that's missing is just like non-linear control flow. So yeah, so I need to update the AST, the desugared AST, and then MIR here to support all of the niceties that we expect in a programming language. Let's switch back to main. Let's fetch. Oh, wait. Get pull? Okay, nice. Okay, smart pointers is pushed. Okay. Let me just double check that I didn't mess up. Okay, nice. Okay. What editor are you using? I'm using NeoVim in Westterm. Okay, so we need to make a new branch. This will be control flow. Okay. So I think the first big thing we need to add here is in MIR. We need to add a couple more instructions that we support. And then that'll also create a little bit of a mess, but that's fine. So we want branch statements. NeoVim in Windows is crazy work. Yeah, I'm using .asl. I'm only on Windows because I have a little bit of a Valorant addiction that needs to be scratched. So let's open up Quadbolt just to look at how LLVM's C front end handles branch statements. So have main, and then if, I guess we could test. Replay system, it actually came out today if I remember correctly. Somehow I've managed to not play today, so surprise, surprise. Yeah. Okay, so let's A. Let's say A is greater than 5, and we return 1. Otherwise, we return 3,000, I guess. That's a funny number. Yeah. Okay, so this is the assembly generated. This code is a little bit boring. Let's get rid of this. Let's compile with O0. And that should, yeah, that keeps all the basic blocks. So, yeah, so we have, it creates basically a branch. It creates this branch statement. It has this compare. I think this implies that I need to also add Boolean values in some degree. What are you doing? I'm working on a compiler from C to x86 64. And I'm currently trying to figure out how I should implement control flow. Okay, so we have compares, we have these branch statements. Yeah, so we have two different types of branch statements. We have a compare. Let's actually add an else block here. Let's make this a little bit more complex as well. Actually, we don't even need the else. I think that will make a little bit more of a mess. Then we return I guess. Yeah. We might need to do a couple more things. Else. We need an else branch. I equals 14. There's something very important missing from this generated assembly. That is refusing to show up, which actually makes sense because we don't really have variables here. These are all stacked variables. So let's compile with O1. And that does too much. Okay. Int blah. I. Let's do I. I'm really struggling here to get this to do what I want it to. We have to do a little bit of what's called thwarting, if I remember correctly. Does this do what I want it to? C no inline. Playing C no inline. Can I do that? Okay, this compiler is too smart for me, actually. Just do the thing. Just do the thing I want. Let's do this. Surely this works. Semicolons. O2 will make it worse. I'm trying to find a very specific thing here. Okay, it's doing a lot of folding. How can I make this interesting? Okay, let's make this A. Nope, okay, we're... Okay, please bear with me here. Give us a second. How can we force it to stop doing math like an intelligent optimizer? Maybe this? Come on, make a mess, please. That's high complexity. Oh, okay, we're just making a mess in a different way, but blah of A, maybe. Oh, there it is. Okay, we did it. Okay. So the important thing, the other instruction we need to add, the missing thing is this phi here. So in case you're not familiar with LLVM, it has this property called SSA, or a static single assignment, which pretty much means that each variable is only assigned once. And the problem here is if we have like if we assign to a variable in different ways, can I simplify this a little bit more? Maybe? Nope, we broke it again. Okay, we're just gonna continue to make a mess out of this. Yeah, okay. So the thing is, if we have control flow and we assign to a variable in each path, we can't really determine which of these two we want to depend on, I guess, for like a future use of it. So the answer is we have this fee instruction, which is kind of like a join. So it's like if we're coming from the if then block, then we use div I. If we're coming from the if else block, then we use the 13. And that goes into this virtual register. And then we can use this wherever we want further downstream. So those are the 4 instructions I think that I need to implement, at least at the middle end level. And then the front end we can kind of keep a little bit abstracted out. Okay. I don't need a notepad for this. So we have 2 types of new terminators. So we have a branch and then conditional branch, and then we have compare, and then we have a compare operator, and then we have fee, which will be interesting. So let's put it here, I guess. Actually, just out of curiosity, how does this handle typecasting? Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna add a Boolean. We're gonna add a Boolean type, but we're not gonna add front-end support for it yet because I kind of don't want to deal with like typecasting right now. So you can just do a compare to 0. Yeah. And then, yeah, 0 will end up having a type, but that's it. That's a-okay. What happens if this is a float? Does this make a mess? No, it's still just... Let's pass in a float. Okay, so then that does a little bit of comparison, which I guess makes sense. Because we need to convert it to number, and then, yeah, there we go. Did you debloat your Windows 11? No, this is still pretty much stock Windows 11. So, yeah, unlucky. So we want a compare. Actually, we don't even need to add a compare yet. We can just be very creative with the way we handle type conversions. Yeah, okay. So let's instruction fee. This has a value. This is an instruction, and then this is also a value. So then, how do we want to structure this? We could probably store pairs, but that might be the least miserable way to do this, I think. Or maybe we could just use a hash map. Yeah, that might be good actually. We should probably use the hash table. I can't read Russian, apologies. Let's just do a vector of pair for now. Still no job, no compiler job. So we want value to... We could just do a map for now. Right. Map seems safe. Let's do a map. So this takes value and takes value. I have value putter even? What yearly salary are you gonna look for? If it exists, it exists. I don't really have strong expectations at this instant. Okay, so we have predecessors. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Should be a basic block putter. This shouldn't cause any circular dependencies, I hope. I'd be very unlucky if it did. Yeah, so this maps the basic block that it came from to the value it should take. Yeah, and then that mapping makes sense in memory. We can store it similar to how LVM does it when we want to print it, but this makes the most sense for access, I think. Yeah, okay. So we want... Actually, I don't think we need a constructor here. We can just use a default, and then we can insert. Yeah, because the way we'll be making these is mem2reg will insert them, and then it'll insert into predecessors. So we have void add putter, and then we want value to be maybe I should just use a vector actually, but yeah, okay. I think we can just do this for now. We need a visitor, it looks like. Of course it needs a visitor. And then we can add the rest of the functions as we need them. Okay, next is branch statements. This is a terminator. This class is a little bit boring, admittedly. Should be pretty straightforward at least. This just has a This has a basic block putter. This needs a semicolon. Okay, terminator branch. This takes in, should be successor even. Should be a putter. Yeah, this is a little bit boring, but yeah, it is what it is. This should take a visitor. And then the more interesting version is the conditional branch. This is a con branch because I'm concerned about variable name lengths. So we want a let's see. Okay, this wants a Boolean value. So we want a value putter. We want 2 basic block pointers. Okay, so we want. So this is the cond, the true successor, and then false successor. What are you writing? It's a compiler from C to x86-64. Currently, I'm trying to implement control flow. So it's like if statements and things like for loops, while loops, and like do while loops, for instance. There's a lot of groundwork that needs to be set until that point, though. So that is the step that I'm currently at. Okay. Hope you get to the point where you can use your own compiler for your compiler. Yeah, that'd be neat, but I'd need to build this out to also include C++, and that scares me a little bit. So maybe sometime in the future, but give me 20 years and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I think this is all we need for now. We need to add more visitors. If we find you randomly and want to wish you the best of luck, thank you. Terminator branch, and then cond branch. Okay. So these visitors allow us to, I guess, do a little bit of iterating over things. Okay, so I'll implement them in instruction at a later time. Or I'll do all the implementation stuff and then deal with all the downstream effects at a later time. But for now, I think this is a pretty reasonable spot to end this. Yeah, so let's commit this. Start building out control flow. Okay. Committing without testing, it is absolutely not going to work. Just factually, I don't even need to test it to know that something's gonna break. Or at least it should. It should build and it should run, but it's not gonna do anything new. Okay, I lied. It's just gonna break, yeah, because we have visitors that implement instruction visitor, and they don't implement, or they don't have visitor implementations for fee yet, or branch or con branch yet, so those don't work. So yeah. I'll implement everything next time, but that is a next time problem. Did I commit upstream? Okay, there we go. Hi, John. I am like about to wrap up, unfortunately, so yeah. Cracked the algorithm and found you in recommendations. That's pretty neat. Thank you for showing up to the stream. It means a lot to me. Okay. This should fail, I think. Let's create the pull request. At least. This will be control flow. Yeah, the check should fail. Ideally, it should fail. I would hate if it didn't fail. Let's see if it fails. But yeah, while this runs, I'm gonna start wrapping up the stream. Thank you all for showing up. Draft PR, I want to see this fail. I want to see it fail. It's not gonna run if it's a draft. Do you do the goose drawing yourself? One of my friends drew it for me. Yeah, this fails. Perfect. So can we make this a draft again? There we go. Okay, nice. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and thank you all for showing up. A lot of y'all showed up for the first time today. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel. Make sure you drop down to the description and like the stream and sub to my channel. It helps you, or jeez, I can't speak. It helps get my content out to more people like y'all, and it really helps my channel growth a lot. Yeah, while you're down there, make sure you join the Discord. It's the best place to get notified when I go live. And also chat with other people in the community and chat with me while I'm not streaming. And also, maybe if I happen to get a little bit distracted in class, that'd be a place where I might post a couple of silly moments here and there. Also, while you're down there, make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn and add me on GitHub so you can stay up to date with what I'm doing. Oh crap, I need to write a LinkedIn post. Anyway, I'll worry about that tomorrow. Yeah. Thank you all for showing up. I've done solo software dev for like 4 years, and I would consider you a rival in programming ability. I have lots to learn. Yeah, there's a lot of legwork still to do, but yeah. Anyway, take care, y'all. Take it easy. I'm gonna go get dinner. I haven't eaten a thing in like 7 hours, so yeah. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay hydrated.